Hi, my name is Laila Ulias and welcome to my YouTube channel, Jenki Mutsimala. Roughly translated, it means an American mom from the countryside. And we live in the Finnish countryside in the southern part of Finland. We're a family of 12, my husband and I, and 10 children. We like to follow a homesteading lifestyle, and most of my videos are mostly about that. But every once in a while I do a few travel vlogs. And this travel vlog has footage from 2 trips. One was just me and my husband when we took a trip to northern Sweden and Norway a few years back. And the other one is a similar trip, but it was my husband and 4 of our children. I am part Norwegian as well, as my grandmother's mother's side of the family originated from Norway, and there's something so beautiful and majestic and rugged about the very north. Welcome along as I show you some sights. Our plan was to hike and tent for a few days in the northern part of Sweden before heading over to Norway. The landscape was rugged, and we climbed up and down and climbed on top of a fell to look at the scenery. It was quite cloudy and the weather wasn't that great. It was rainy and quite cold, even if it was summer. And so we decided that we would shorten that part of the trip and head over to Norway. But these first pictures are from, and videos are from the northern part of Sweden. We hiked back to the car after one night in the Swedish wilderness and started driving to Norway. And sure enough, as we crossed the border and made our way to the sea, the sun started shining. We drove to BodØ, and it was the most beautiful scenery. We stopped at a grocery store and bought some lefse, which I'd had at our Christmas parties as a child. We had a big van and we had 2 mattresses that were put in the back of the van. And so for nights, we just stopped on the side of the road, wherever the scenery was nice enough, and camped out there. It was easy traveling without any children along. On our second day in Norway, we decided to go and check out the valleys. There was some beautiful valleys in between the fjords that had small farms. And on some of the farmhouses, they had grass growing on the rooftops. To tell you the truth, I would love to come and live in Norway sometime, maybe for a few months at a time. But we'll see how life goes. Maybe someday it'll work out. But our trip is coming to an end here, and the next set is from last summer when my husband came with 4 of the older children. The kids were all excited. They wanted to go visit a new country where they'd never been before. And we'd been gathering all the gear for their hiking trip in northern Sweden and Norway, making sure that everyone had the right sort of foot gear and backpacks. Their plan was very similar to ours. They were planning on hiking in northern Sweden for a few days, but the wind was very strong and it started snowing sleet, and during the night the opening of the tent was ripped open by the strong wind, and the sleet and the rain came directly on them, drenching them. And so they decided to pack up their gear, hike back to the car, and drive to Norway and see if they could find the sun.
En oo käynyt sen päällä koskaan.
Siellä on varmasti turvapaikka. Se on vielä.
Our hikers that my husband took with were aged 9 to 16, and they did a great job and they didn't complain once, even if the weather was challenging.
Kävele nyt kunnolla sinne.
My husband is an experienced hiker, but the kids, it was their first time hiking for a few days in the wilderness, and the weather was brutal, and so they decided to change plans. But they found the sun at Langsanden, which is a beach along the Arctic Ocean. And of course, one of the most important parts of their trip was that they could all go swim in the Arctic Ocean.
Tiettähän se tehdä sitä suolataikinaa? No maistuu siltä. Ei niin, ei ollut edes niin vähän.
And while they were swimming, there were some tourists from Belgium. They had on their light winter coats, and they were videoing the kids as they were swimming in the Arctic Sea. And here in the end is a collection of photos of van life when traveling in the very northern part of Norway. Thank you for joining us on this travel vlog to northern Sweden and Norway. Hope you enjoyed your trip along with us. And if you really liked what you saw, remember to subscribe. Hope to see you again soon.